Well, hey, my Insta loves and my YouTube viewers. It's your girl, Kimberly Lipstick and Fit, and I am here with a subject matter that's going to be part of a series that I'm going to call What a Girl Really Wants. And a lot of times we're always kind of putting on men what we really want. We want them to try to figure it out, but we're really not getting the picture. What we really need to do is we need to see for ourselves what it is that we really want. I posted this the other day, and it says on my Instagram, which is at the bottom, at Lipstick and Fit. Go follow your girl, okay? Ever had sex to try and unfeel your feelings? Let me say that again. Have you ever had sex in attempts to try to unfeel what you're feeling? Well, let's talk about it, ladies, because we got to deal with these feelings. Side of the selfie. Okay. Left us out.
Be single that I know. I can't.
Now, in this series of What a Girl Really Wants, we're going to first deal with what I call vaginal numbness, okay? And with vaginal numbness, this is something that, if you all know, I'm a life coach, a practicing life coach, okay? And plus size holistic wellness coach. And I really have to get done, especially my plus size sisters, and I have plenty of clients that are not deemed plus size, they just want to lose some weight. But a lot of times, just like our fat, we bury so many unresolved emotional traumas and issues. And these emotional traumas and issues can come into and become what I call vaginal numbness. And vaginal numbness can be caused by these things right here, okay? I have put this on my post. Heartbreak, molestation, rape, rejection, used, abandonment issues that could be by, male figures in their life, infidelity and infertility, all right? And with this vaginal numbness, one of the things I really believe as far as us as women and embodying our divine femininity, we have to understand the constructs and how God created us. And with this day, and you all have heard me talk about this before, in this day of feminism, okay? All these feminists walking around here and preaching this just god-awful doctrine of, equality and feminism, which I'm all about equality. I'm all about us being paid our wages. I was the victim of that myself. I was in law enforcement 15 years. And so you can only imagine, as a black, unapologetic female officer who went through 4 or 5 different rankings within that profession, the shit that I had to fight, okay? And not come off as the angry black woman, which didn't always go so well, but it happened because I was angry and I just happened to be black. And so dealing with, dealing with all these things that we suppress and what have you, we have to understand what is truly a strong woman. What is a woman? Why did God create us the way that he created us and then framed us the way that he framed us? The word of God says that the woman is the weaker vessel, but being a weaker vessel doesn't mean you're pathetic. It doesn't mean that. It just means that we offer a different type of strength that we know men just can't really horn in, and they need us to even channel that energy. And this is the duality, the beauty of the duality in our differences. And the problem is, as women, especially a lot of us that's educated, that's in the academic world and doing all these different things, because we get in these professions and we doing what we doing, we create, or we allow this vaginal numbness to take place. And with the vaginal numbness, due to all these different things, trying to have to perfectionism, put that on the list, dealing with in schools and in your professions, we will use sex to try to get what it is that we want. I remember, and let me just caution you, these are going to be some very graphic shit, all right? And if you follow me on Facebook and if you follow me on Instagram and watch any of my other videos, I don't want to hear shit about it, because I'm just going to get to the nitty-gritty, and that's how I am, and that's how it's going to be. I remember one time I was having sex with this guy, right? And one of the things, I have a very strong sexual energy, and it's like I transform. And I like my sexual energy. I like desire. I'm a nurturer. I'm very affectionate. I come from an affectionate family. I love the artistry of sex. I'm not a whore or a slut. Let's make this clear. But when I do choose to have, because I can go years without it, all right, and I have done so. When I do it, the artistry of it is beautiful. And I channel those energies very well. But I remember a few incidents where I was with a lover or something like that, and I think, ladies, I think we've all felt this. He just couldn't go deep enough. And I almost got angry at this. Like, oh my goodness, are you serious? And it's almost like God was like, she ain't supposed to be doing this, but let me use this as an educational moment for her, because she needs to understand something. And I heard it clear as day. He says, the very thing that you're trying to get this man to touch deep within you, deep within your vaginal walls, that canal, there's something very powerful about our vaginal canal, ladies. And I'm telling you, we cannot use these sparingly. We can't just be giving out our coochie sparingly. You have to understand the power and the beauty of your vagina. And I'm not trying to be illicit and I'm not trying to do that. But I want you to understand the great significance of what God has given us. Men use their little, as I like to call the one-legged pigeon. The one-legged pigeon, or the beans and weenie. They're kind of reckless, but we can't be reckless with this canal and what this canal represents and what it channels. Okay, and when the depthness of what I wanted him to touch is, I wanted him to almost like this button within there, right? And I felt like if he just connects to that, if we just connect, then I'm gonna be okay. And a lot of times we're putting these things on men through our sexual energy for them to obtain, or to, how can I say, to activate. And they're just a man. Now, I'm not going to get too spiritual on it, because on that back end, I am going to go that route. Okay? Because God told me some other things in that. But what he wanted me to see is that him nor any other man can ever deal with what you're trying to deal with, which I call the vaginal numbness, created by all these other constructs, which many of the things on this list, I would say about a third of them, I'm personally victimized by. And I buried them over years. I justified certain things. I said, it's just life, chop it up, fuck it. This is what it is, and this is what we have to deal with as women. And I will just take vengeance in this, of me having this control and this dominance. And this is a long time, for a while I didn't have meaningful relationships. I was very picky. We'll talk about that later. Get back to the vaginal numbness, and let me read to you what I wrote. Oh, it's funny, synchronicity. I just picked up my phone and said 345. Carl Jung, however you want to say his name. Synchronicity. Y'all need to study up on that. I call it vaginal numbness. Many of us women have done this. Men may think we desire them, but when in fact, or when in all, we're trying to silence our pain. We're exchanging temporary sexual or emotional gratification for long-term numbness, because we want this pain to end. Sex is an energy source that is contingent on the individual. Contingent on the individual will manifest differently. Sex can literally be likened as fire, okay? Fuel. It can purify. I believe sex is a beautiful emotional construct that God has placed within our, ecosystem in this dwelling. But, let me see. But yet destroy and consume all in its path. You can take that figuratively, literally, however, but it would destroy you. Lack of understanding in this of this fuel source will cause us to feed it and literally grow. It'd be literally likened unto throwing gasoline on a fire while the house is burning down. This is an internal war that we combat as women. And so often, I had a lot of clients, and I'm sorry I keep saying plus size, but a lot of my women as plus size women, let me just be honest. Sometimes as a plus size woman, we deal with the fact that we may not be sexually attractive, that someone is not truly liking us because we are not aesthetically appeasing. I think I'm sexy as fuck. I think I am fine. And I've had like, I don't know, 1 or 2 fat dudes. All my niggas, okay, let me watch my mouth. Done had 6 packs and a lot of other stuff. And I believe a part of that is my confidence. A part of that is just I don't sweat niggas. I've never been one to do that. I've never been one to put myself out. And I have to, between my mother and my father, like I just never, I've settled at times, but my settling lasts about a good 2 weeks. And then I'm like, all right, it's 8 billion people on this planet. Someone's gonna love all this, right? But there are times when we will second guess ourselves that, you know, to get that guy or this guy, we got to be this or be that. And so we will settle, or we will allow certain conflictive situations that we probably wouldn't let slide. And I noticed this with my clients, particularly my plus size clients. And I would have to ask them questions because you know how you're talking to a woman, dealing with her and her man, and I say, let me ask you this: are you sexually gratified? You know how many women would tell me they don't even receive the true sexual gratification that they want? So okay, all right. Do you feel as though he's pleasing you? Do you feel as though he's even really vested? And a lot of times, because we're scared to push that person away, we won't explain what it is that we really want and what it is that we really need. And a lot of times what we really need is intimacy. And I have to be honest, I've lucked out having men, even men that I dated and didn't have sex with. I always get men that are pretty in touch with their feminine energy, and they tend to really do good in the intimacy department. Intimacy for me is conversation. I love long conversations. I love to talk about quantum physics, all kind of geeked out shit. I love the variety. We can talk about Seinfeld or this. I could just jump all over the place. I need that. I need to see your kindness for humanity. I need to see that you are family oriented, not a mama's boy, but someone who understands the construct of family. Like, that's part of my whole arousal. Okay. You know, and for every woman is different. And so a lot of times I have to teach my ladies, and these are grown-ass women in their 40s, okay? I have to teach them that you are going to have to learn sex in a whole different way. You're going to have to see what intimacy truly is. And this is why I must urge you all, if you're dealing with this form of vaginal numbness, to cease and desist, as we say in the courts. All sexual practices, okay? No matter how horny you get, no matter who you can call, you have to deal with the vaginal numbness, because no kiss, no touch, no dick is gonna get to that place in you, far enough up in you, to give you the reassurance and the pleasure that you seek, okay? You're gonna have to deal with your emotions. Now, I'm an advocate of therapy, counseling, life coaching, such as myself. And it all goes in stages. And I do assessments for people that want to see, do you need a therapist? Do you need a psychologist? Now, I'm not for meds, but I am for meds. And this is why. I'm a certified CIT officer, okay? And so I deal with people in crisis, and I taught numerous officers. I helped in the training of officers becoming CIT certified, because any of us we can be in a crisis state. And a lot of people in law enforcement that I dealt with that were in crisis were people that unfortunately didn't have access to medication or had been off of their meds. And look, you have not the equilibrium, but your serotonin and all between these foods and everything that's going on. I'm not a doctor, but I have to attest to the fact I have seen when meds have worked, and I've also seen when meds have done irreparable damages. So that's not for me to diagnose or whatever. I'm just putting that out there. But we have to deal with the vaginal numbness. And so each area, I don't know how I'm going to space out this series. And as people ask questions, I'll go further and further in depth. But I want you all to do the first part of this assessment. The list that let me go back over the list. Well, just, you can go to the list because I can't remember because I added a few more. If you've dealt with some of these things and you have not received the help that you need in getting over it, and you find certain things replaying in your own life that almost seem like, not a curse, but they seem like it's repetitive, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in you not receiving the sexual gratification. Let me tell you, because of sexual abuse in my youth, for the longest time, I could not climax. I could not have an orgasm. And when I did finally have an orgasm, I enjoyed sex. But statistically shown, for any men that's watching this and for women, I think we know. I was talking to a dude the other day, and he didn't know that there was 2 forms of orgasms. I was like, yeah. He was like, what? I was like, there's the clitoral, which is the clit, that orgasm, which helps, but it takes either it's a grinding or it's a rubbing and help while there's penetration to help to bring about a orgasmic effect. Okay, and then there's vaginal orgasm. Only 30%, I think it's less than 33% of women even have vaginal orgasms. It takes good skills. And for you ladies that have learned it, good for you. Good for you. But sex health is important. It's very important. The way you're going to have better sex and meaningful sex meaning you're not giving your vagina to just anybody. Okay? The way you're going to come about that is by dealing with, and hey, I'm talking from the perspective of, I'm still purging some things, people. And we may be purging to the day that we die, but a lot of our issues we're putting on to our men and wanting them to heal us, when in fact God wants to heal us. But the only way he can heal us through all these things that have caused the vaginal numbness is by us yielding and adhering to what we need to heal from. Because our pain is purpose. Our pain can really help heal our pussy. It really can. You know, sometimes I was talking to a friend earlier today, and I said a scripture that's been in my head was what was it? Go, for your faith has made you heal. And when he told the man to go, I thought I heard a preacher say this best. I can't be wrong, but the man, as he walked, he was being healed. It wasn't when he was at the feet of Christ. It was when he started walking to show himself to the people. Meaning this, sometimes our healing is something that has to be walked out. It has to be something that we acknowledge and we say, okay, I'm at this place. I receive what it is that you have for me to get, and I'm going to walk this thing out. It's not immediate, ladies. And a man and his penis, definitely not the penis, because I've tried. The penis is not going to help you. It's not going to heal you. It's temporary. And let the truth be told, we don't even we think we want the sex, but really what we want a different depth of intimacy so that we're healed. So I hope you all, I know I was a little all over the place, but I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I hope this sets a foundation, and you stay tuned to this series because it's something that we need to talk about. It's something that we need to discuss. And we need to start giving these niggas some false hope, and they think they're putting the dick down, and we're just kind of like, thanks. I just needed some relief from this vaginal numbness. So I love you, my loves. Take care. I know it was a long video, but they're going to be long. Okay, and please comment, chime in if you agree, disagree. If there may be other perspectives I haven't even I haven't even seen in this, okay? But I got a huge response socially on Instagram about this when we started discussing it. And I'll put some more updates on my Instagram about the topic matter. Okay? I love you, my loves. Y'all be blessed. Go in the way of the Lord. And let's get these vaginal canals healed, okay? Power to the... Bye, my loves.